Can Superman beat the Living Tribunal? Let's get one thing straight. The Living Tribunal isn't your typical villain. This isn't Darkseid or Brainiac. We're talking about a cosmic entity that literally judges the entire Marvel multiverse. When this being shows up, it's not for a fight. It's the past sentence on reality itself. So the question isn't just about who punches harder. It's about whether the Man of Steel in any form could even register on the radar of a being this powerful. Let's first understand what the Living Tribunal actually is. This is the ultimate cosmic arbiter of the Marvel multiverse, second only to the one above all, who is essentially the supreme creator. The Tribunal's job is to maintain cosmic balance. It has three faces, each representing a different aspect of its judgment: equity, necessity, and vengeance. For the Tribunal to act, all three faces must agree. Its power is so immense that it can nullify the Infinity Gauntlet with a mere gesture. Think about that. The full Infinity Gauntlet, which grants its wielder control over all of existence, is like a toy to this entity. It exists simultaneously across all realities, making it a true multiversal being. It doesn't just operate on a universal scale, it operates above it. So, where does Superman fit into this? We'll start with the standard post-crisis Superman. He's incredibly powerful, no doubt. He can move planets, fly faster than light, and his heat vision is hotter than the sun's core. But all of that power operates within the physical laws of a single universe. He fights physical threats. The Living Tribunal operates on a conceptual, metaphysical level. For standard Superman, this isn't a fight. It's like an ant trying to fight the concept of gravity. There's no win condition. The Tribunal could simply will him out of existence, and that would be the end of it. The power gap is just too vast to even compare. Alright, but what about Superman's more powerful versions? Let's level up. How about Sun-Dipped Superman? Specifically, the Superman from the DC 1 million storyline. After spending 15,000 years inside the sun, he became a living extension of its power, gaining godlike abilities, including the power to create life and resurrect the dead. He is, for all intents and purposes, a true solar god. This version of Superman is exponentially more powerful than his standard form. He's a reality warper on a significant scale. Could this Superman stand a chance? Here's where it gets tricky. Superman 1 million's power is immense, but it still seems to be tied to a single universe. He is the guardian of his reality. The Living Tribunal, on the other hand, governs all realities. The Tribunal's authority extends over countless beings just as powerful, if not more so, than Superman 1 million. Think of entities like Eternity, Infinity, or Galactus. These are cosmic forces that shape reality, and they all bow to the Tribunal's judgment. While Superman 1 million is a god within his own universe, the Living Tribunal is the judge of gods across the entire multiverse. It's a matter of scale and jurisdiction. Superman is the king of a country, while the Tribunal is the governing body of the entire planet. So even in this supercharged form, it's highly improbable that Superman could defy a judgment from the Tribunal. Okay, let's keep going up the power ladder. Let's talk about composite Superman. This isn't a single character, but a fan-made concept that combines the feats and abilities of every version of Superman ever. This includes Golden Age Superman with his wacky logic-defying powers, Silver Age Superman who could sneeze away solar systems, and even weirder versions. This composite Superman would have an absurd level of strength, speed, and a whole host of reality-bending abilities that contradict each other. He'd be a walking paradox of infinite power. So, does this walking plot device beat the Tribunal? It's still a huge maybe, leaning towards no. The problem remains the same: the nature of their power. The Living Tribunal isn't just powerful, it is the law of the multiverse. It's an abstract concept given form. Beating the Tribunal isn't like overpowering an opponent. It's like trying to punch a mathematical equation into being wrong. Even a composite Superman's power, as limitless as we can imagine it, is still a collection of feats from beings who exist within universes. The Tribunal exists above them. The only way composite Superman could win is if his combined powers somehow allowed him to transcend his own nature and operate on the same conceptual level as the Tribunal, essentially becoming a multiversal law himself. It's a fun thought experiment, but based on the rules of Marvel's cosmology, it's a long shot. The Tribunal's authority is absolute. Now for the final contender. The big one, the one you've been waiting for. The cosmic armor, also known as the Thought Robot. This isn't even Superman in the traditional sense. It's a sentient, self-assembling robot created by the Monitors to defend the entire DC multiverse from the ultimate threat. It's a story-powered machine that adapts instantly to overcome any threat to the narrative itself. It literally exists in a higher dimension, holding the entire multiverse in its hand. Its opponent, Mandrak the Dark Monitor, was a being who fed on stories and threatened to consume all of existence. The Thought Robot defeated him by being a better story. This is where things get interesting. The Thought Robot doesn't operate on physical power. It operates on a narrative and conceptual level. It's a literal plot device made manifest. Its power is to be whatever the story needs it to be to win. So, how does that stack up against the Living Tribunal? This is the only scenario where Superman has a genuine, plausible chance. Both the Thought Robot and the Living Tribunal are metaphysical, multiversal level entities. The Living Tribunal enforces the rules of the Marvel multiverse, while the Thought Robot protects the story of the DC multiverse. It's a clash of fundamental concepts. The Tribunal represents absolute order and judgment. The Thought Robot represents the ultimate triumph of heroism and story. Who wins? It could honestly be a stalemate. The Tribunal's purpose is to judge and maintain balance. The Thought Robot's purpose is to save the day. A fight between them wouldn't be about punches. It would be a clash of concepts. The Tribunal might judge the Thought Robot as a threat to balance, but the robot would adapt to embody the concept of necessary heroism, a story that must be told. The Tribunal's three faces might not even be able to reach a verdict. Vengeance might want to destroy it, equity might see its purpose, and necessity might rule that it must exist. If they can't agree, the Tribunal is powerless to act. So in the end, standard Superman gets blinked out of existence. Sun-dipped Superman is a universal god facing a multiversal judge. But the Thought Robot? That's a different story altogether. As a being powered by narrative itself, it's the one version of Superman that could stand before the ultimate judge and not just survive, but potentially force a draw. It's a battle of cosmic law versus the power of story. And that is a fight that might be too big for even the multiverse to handle. What do you guys think? Is there any version of Superman that could definitively take down the Living Tribunal? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more epic comic book showdowns.